Are we getting on? No, it's okay. No, it's a thing. I know. Just-
All set? Great, well, welcome everyone. I'm going to officially call to order our committee of the whole meeting for Tuesday, March 18, 2025. The time is 5:08. Those who can, please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All the mayor will be joining us shortly. He's coming from the State House. Until then, I will chair for us. Could we please have a roll call?
Mrs. Bronston Rizzo. Here. Mr. Caggiano.
Here.
Mr. Kingston.
Here.
Ms. Milbury Ellis.
Here, just ran to the bathroom.
Mrs. Monterosso.
Present.
Mr. Sinella. And Mayor,
Not yet.
and Mayor Keefe.
Absent. Okay, with that, we'll go on to our consent calendar. Do we have any questions on the minutes from last month?
Bless you.
Any questions on the warrants submitted for this month?
Only one, just one quick question, just a general question. Like we see national grid and stuff like that, how can we have? Well, usually one location gets one bill, but we have multiple bills sometimes.
Yeah, there's multiple, I'm not sure the technical term, panels or entry points for electricity at several of the
Okay.
schools.
No, I'm just curious.
I think the high school, we receive 4 monthly bills. A couple are very small or attached to specific things that are happening. So it's not as simple as 8 buildings, 8 bills, especially for
I just,
electric.
like I said, I just saw it and like I said. I know about commercial buildings and stuff, but sometimes when I see all these different bills, I'm just saying, why is it just?
Some of it is also interior, exterior splits of how the electricity is coming into the facility.
It's good.
The high school gets the most because of its size.
Right. Okay.
Anything else? Okay, we don't have anything for the next items of financial reports, food services, communications, or enrollment, so we'll move on to personnel items.
I will just say,
Yeah.
if we're done with the bills, we will be scheduling a Ways and Means meeting for next week to take a first look with that committee at the first draft of the budget, stepping into the next 2 months of work. That will include a draft anyway of our Schedule 19 agreement with the city. And the largest item on there that will be affecting us is increase in the estimated rate increases on this cost to the city and school department for health insurance. So you'll notice that as with transportation in our last conversation, our health insurance rates have been in the single digits for increases anyway in recent years. And again, we've contributed everywhere possible from exceptional funding that has come in to health insurance costs. For example, the ESSER funding with the staff that we had there for 2 or 3 years. There was lots of budget available to also deal with health insurance for them. So we've held those costs down. And now this year, both with rate increases and the end of those funds, you will see a substantial increase in our active employee health insurance costs and some other things. So we've got a first draft of the budget that we'll get a final look at together on Friday morning. And then sometime next week, before the first week of April, we'll have Ways and Means at least take its first, look at what are we dealing with as we jump fully into budget season this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more
It's
question.
about, just to give you a scale of the issue, it's a 19% increase that they had us budget for in current employee health insurance.
Wow.
So it's a lot.
Right,
What's
there's
the number this year? Do you know what's W?
6.
6 million?
No,
Oh, 6.
it was a 6% increase.
No, but what's the current? Like, what are we
What's
paying
the
that?
total number on that
Any
line?
idea? That line item?
how much the health insurance is today.
Yeah, it's complicated to give you a
That's fine, no,
simple
I'll
answer.
take it next week, no worries. I
Part-
was just
part
gonna
of it
take
is-
that and
is
add
that-
20% and say that's the number.
Part of it is that our active employees, we contribute, we're carrying their whole plan. For retired non-teachers, we're carrying their plans, but at a lesser cost. And then for retired teachers' health insurance, it's the cherry sheet that gives us the number, so it's coming at us from three different
I
directions.
understand, no problem.
What we
Alright.
try and do is put it together as easy to understand as possible for our ways and means conversations.
Okay,
But in the same way, I guess we would say that as the city is stressing over the transportation reality of all these things converging. Health insurance, insurance costs in general, and special education costs will be the two focuses of our conversation to say, how does the rest of our budget keep pace when these costs are so exceeding what we actually did receive? This is also why last month we made sure to give you what we did have in hand, which was the net school spending allocation from the governor's budget anyway, and it didn't jump up as it had in successive years. It stayed flat.
Mm.
So all of that will be conversation in our first,
Can't wait.
we have to see it together.
yes, sir.
And then we can begin to strategize going forward. So we couldn't do that conversation with you until all of this work was done. We'd just be talking blind. We have enough now to sink our teeth into some basics. And yes, health insurance will be on there, special education costs and some others.
Thank you.
One quick one. Projected carryover, like the 5%, are we on target, we below? Or where we're supposed to be, what we thought we'd be carrying over?
Same thing. I love that you asked me questions as if I have a one sentence answer.
No,
So
one word answer.
sure, if we were like, oh my gosh,
No, I'm
You
not
already
asking
know
for the
about
price,
it.
I'm just saying,
right?
the projections that we made. Are we in line with the projections?
Right, so coming into this year, that was solid. Going into next year, it's March. And
Right.
we have projections of what can we count on?
Hmm.
And those are within the ballpark of where it would be. But we're not only dealing with a year with 4 collective bargaining increases that hit after the start of the year. But also the state is making some changes in how they account for previous year's liquidations.
Right.
So some of those may increase our carry forward in one year and then decrease it in the next year. And so then it becomes our job to say, we actually need to look at this in terms of 2 years, not one, because of those changes.
Okay.
So yes, as a general rule, if there's anything that's off target, you know about it.
Yeah.
But also to just flatly say, oh, everything's on target. There are so many,
Moving forward.
it's fascinating how every
Oh, yeah.
year there's more move. Feels like we learned how to juggle 7
I know.
and now they're like, hey, it's 4 more. See if you guys can juggle 11.
Mm.
So we will do that work with you starting next week.
Yeah, and I
Thank
think
you.
a simple answer, Anthony, too, is the one place that we feel a little bit off target this year is the special ed, which we've talked to you about
Right.
before.
Mhm.
That's not running as we hoped that it would, but everything else is. And thankfully, we've been good fiscal agents and have the $10 million
sure.
in reserve that we can talk about if we need to use some of that with his spread. This year or not, we
Right.
can think about all of those pieces.
This will be the year where, as a committee with our team, we actually see this is why we go about things the way that we do.
Right.
So that
Thank you.
in years when the net school spending increase is flat, there's some strategy that we can employ. And also never, ever looking at things only 1 year in advance, but trying to keep a 2 or 3 year or further window. So all that will come into play in our conversations.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll get that out through Robin, hopefully tomorrow.
Thank you. I'll recognize that Mr. Fretzanella has also joined us via Zoom.
Thank you.
Of course. So next was personnel items. Any questions on these, Mr. Kingston?
Just a stroll. I was just concerned about the way it was written there. We don't have part-time teachers, do we?
Yeah.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think we could.
Yeah.
Okay. Great, okay.
And then Dr. Kelly, would you like to walk us through the donations, gifts, and grants?
Sure, we have a lot And most of them came up just in the last couple of days. I know that when we were doing the draft agenda last Thursday, I don't think that we might have had one. And then in the last few days, we've gotten all these notifications, which is wonderful.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, the first is the RHS library grant for $4,000, and what that does is it gives all of our students and staff access to online library of resources. That they can now get into, and it's an Explore grant, it's the $4,000. Let me just see here, this doesn't really say what it is. Ooh. But it'll just enable our kids and our staff to have a lot more online library research availability. And so that's exciting. And Mia Morgan, who's this librarian here at the high school, applied and got that grant. So thank you to her for bringing that on. City Lab had a site visit from the Learning Agenda and received a $1,500 endowment for their school. As a result of that, they were able to come in and observe classes, talk to kids, talk to staff about the hands-on project-based learning that they're doing there. So sorry, it's $1,000 or $1,500? Why did I think it was $1,500?
That was the second notice that she got, was that it was actually 1,500.
Oh, okay, so we thought it was gonna be $1,000,
We
but
got
it's
it, yeah,
1,500.
yeah.
But so it's 1,500 that we need the committee to approve, yeah, okay. We got notified yesterday that all three of our middle schools got a Democratic Knowledge Project Implementation Grant. It's $24,000 for each of the schools. So really exciting, and that's gonna help them develop out the civics action projects the kids have already been working on, but try to bring a little more rigor into those projects. And then we were also notified that we received the Teacher Diversification Grant again this year. And thanks to Dr. Garcia and Jamie Flynn and others who worked with them on that application, that's $42,556. So we're excited for that piece as well.
Ms. Johnson, Rizza?
Dr. Kelly, how many educators do we have working right now through that grant,
Through
the
the,
diversification grant?
I don't know that we have any, you mean like fully on salary,
Mhm.
paid by the grant? None.
I thought we had 2 from last month.
The grant isn't used to cover salaries, it's for
Correct.
signing bonus.
Right.
Yes, and this particular
Mhm.
grant is not for signing bonuses. This $42,000 is for school culture and support.
Okay.
That's what it's gonna be focused on.
Which is pretty broad.
Yeah,
Any other questions on the grants? All great news, Dr. Kelly. We don't have anything on field trips, so anything missing from the regular meeting agenda or something else folks want to bring up? Well, with that, so we have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, then we have adjourned and we will see you all at 6 p.m. for the regular meeting.
Thank you.
Fred, we'll see you